Hello everyone, my name is Luigi Bangara. I'm a photographer primarily, but sometimes I make Machinima out of Skyrim and make Skyrim based tutorials for the creation kit. So this is a vlog. I'm not sure what footage I'll overlay this. An audio vlog, well, I suppose it wouldn't be a vlog then. An audio diary on something I would like to bring up. Now, lately I've found that when I introduce my Machinima series, that is episodes of Big Bad Wolves, The Purge Blades, Royal Blood, or the Machinima that I made for the Funhouse on the Let's Play community channel, I find that when I introduce these Machinima Skyrim works to people who don't play video games, who didn't grow up with video games, they're confused. They're confused that they say to me that, is this a video game thing? That because they don't play video games, they see it as a video game thing. Now, let me be clear. None of my Machinima works that I make in Skyrim has to do with Skyrim itself. It's got nothing to do with the characters, the plot, or the setting of Skyrim. I use Skyrim as a way to tell my stories in the same way that a painter uses the medium of painting to tell their stories. So, what I want to ask is, how do I explain that my Machinima movies is not about video games when I make them from video games? Now, the argument can be levied that this is like claymation movies, that they're not about clay puppets. It is the medium that you use to tell the story with. When I watch a famous claymation film, let's say, for the sake of argument, Wallace and Gromit, those movies are not about clay puppets, are they? They are about the characters of Wallace and Gromit and their adventures, if you know what I mean. And that is similarly the same sort of thing that I'm trying to deal with here, is that I'm using Skyrim Machinima as a way to tell these stories about werewolves and knights and those forth. It's the genre. If we take another a much more famous Machinima series, Red vs. Blue, it was made in the Halo games, but it was not specifically about Halo or what happened. It was about two armies fighting against each other. It became rather complicated unnecessarily. It's a comedy about two armies with the same sort of style of comedy that you find in South Park, right? It isn't about Halo, yet the makers of Red vs. Blue used Halo as a medium to tell their story. And that is essentially what I'm doing. So I would like some input, some feedback in order to how do I explain to someone who's never played video games, how do I explain to them when I show them my movies, because I want them to enjoy something that I created and that I'm very proud of my works, and I think they're entertaining and they're flawed, obviously, and I admit that they're flawed. But I made them with passion, and I made it to entertain people, to make them think, or to make them laugh, or to, get into the tenseness of the drama. And I want to share my works with them. And so I'm stuck. I'm not sure how to explain that my Machinima works is not about Skyrim. It's not about video games. And I understand that not everybody is a video gamer. Heck, I'm not even a video gamer myself anymore. I say that with 3 copies of Skyrim. But, how do I explain that? What I'm trying to do has got nothing to do with video games. You don't need to play video games to understand it. You don't need to know about Skyrim or the Elder Scrolls or anything like that to understand my movies. I'm simply using Skyrim and the medium of Machinima, that is animation, using video games to tell these stories. I would like to know your feedback on this subject. I'm interested to know, because I still haven't come up with something suitable to tell people. Anyway, thank you for listening. I hope to see some answers or some of your comments, or at least made you think about this subject in some way. Thank you for watching.